today we're gonna go ahead and get started putting the console in on the Skiff. And if you haven't caught all the other videos leading up to this point, if you'll go back and check those out. And we have made it to 1,000 subscribers, and you know, I just wanted to share a few videos. I never thought it would actually get many subscribers, and that's awesome. And thank you so much to all those who have subscribed, and I appreciate it so much. Hope we can do some big things on this channel, and you never know what's after the Skiff build. I've been already thinking about it, so we'll see what happens. So I'm already looking at the future. I'm looking for what's going to be next. Which way do I want to take the channel, and kind of the direction I want to travel. And you know, I kind of started it out with a lot of tractor stuff, and just I wanted to do it kind of what I do anyway. You know, I don't want to have to go out and, you know, what can I do for a video? What can I do? I just want to be able to do what I do. And this is just what I do every day on the weekends. I love working and piddling and tinkering on stuff. So that's kind of where I came up with the name as well. So go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know what direction you think it should go. Should we kind of stick more to boats? I'm going to definitely, you know, keep tractors in, and because that's a big part of my life. So just kind of give me your idea. What you think? So today we're going to try to get the center console in, and you know, I've never done this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Originally, the console was just screwed down to the deck, and somehow or another, in 1996, my dad put the original console in. And whenever I redid the boat when I was 16, I put it right back in the same place. And it was a little front heavy once I put the big deck on. So I'm trying to, you know, space everything out right and get it when we finally get this thing in the water, it's gonna set even. And it's not gonna be bow heavy, it's not gonna be stern heavy. And my hope is to get it where it's even enough, boat set's level enough where the plugs in the back will be above the water line. And that way, that was kind of the original Skiff idea, was whenever you're running in choppy seas, raining, whatever, sitting at the dock, you can pull the plugs and you don't have to worry about the boat getting swamped. So that's my goal, and I'm really changing the weight up a lot on this thing with the center console and kind of moving the fuel tank around, so we'll see. All I know to do is give it my best go. So here we go. Well, I got this thing all sanded down, and if you didn't see the video where I built them, go ahead and check that out. But I'm moving all the weight around. The batteries are coming up front, and the seat's coming up a little bit, and the gas tank I'm moving back. So I don't know the calculations for any of this. I'm pretty much gonna have to guess at it. So, because originally, before I had that big old floppy deck and 400 pounds of fishing tackle in the front deck, the boat it was kind of hard to keep the nose down. Now with getting the water out, I don't know what this thing's gonna do. So I'm gonna pretty much guess on move this thing up about 4 inches. I never even considered this when I was building it, but it's working out pretty good. I've got it on a rib on the back, and it's right pretty. I'm gonna scoot up just a touch because it's on the back side of that rib, and it'll be right on this rib up here as well. I don't know how you're supposed to figure the center line of a boat, but to me, it would seem pretty much where it starts to jut up just a touch ways, a piece into there where it starts to jut up would be about center line, and divide that in half. Now I think that was right at 75 inches or so. So I'm a touch past center line right now. So I think that'll be about midways of the gas tank. But you know, the batteries, I'm gonna have 3 batteries in here, and the batteries are gonna weigh more than the gas. So that'll put my weight just a touch past center line. But then you figure in the weight of the motor and everything else, I think it'll be good. I don't know. We're just gonna glass it down and hope for the best. I'm tired of trying to figure it out. I've been trying to do a little research, trying to figure out how to calculate it all out, but I think this is gonna be as close as I'm gonna get. Now, I'm using a square. Like, I think this boat is actually built square, and like I actually built this thing square. So, oh my goodness. Well, you wanna know something fun? Well, when I thought I built this thing, I thought I had a good level surface. Thought I had all my cuts nice and square. Nope. But I read this somewhere when I was researching boat building about stringers and everything, and it said you never want your stringers directly on your hull. So this isn't a hull, this is a deck, but I assume it's probably the same concept. So I've got little pieces of rubber that I put under this thing at all the points, all the high points, where it's not actually sitting on the deck. And I'm gonna, you know, put my fillets in and glass it in, tab everything in really, really well. So I don't know if that's really needed, but that's what I'm gonna do just to keep the wood up off of the deck and off the ribs or bulkheads. So I don't know if that's really needed, but it's what I'm gonna do. Well, it is almost midnight and I have finally got this thing glassed in, and I did 2 layers of biaxial tape inside and out. So I'm pretty sure, hopefully, this thing will go nowhere. You can hang the boat by it. So that's what I'm hoping for, at least. I would hate for this thing to ever come off. So I tried to take my time and get a whole bunch of layers everywhere. So Lord willing, this thing will never come off until I cut it off. Well, it's the next day and you just gotta love the weather. It's the middle of May here in North Carolina and it's right at 50 degrees, but I gotta keep going. So I got the heat lamps out warming this up, and I'm gonna go ahead. I've got everything sanded down, wiped it all down real good with acetone, and we're gonna go ahead and gel coat the cavity that my fuel tank is gonna set in, because I've got to get it put in and placed before I can finish building this out. All right, we got the second coat of wax and gel coat on now. Well, I'm getting ready to put the gas tank in, and I could never find the pitch on the threads for this. That's probably somewhere, but I couldn't find it. And so I ordered a 1/4 pipe thread barred nipple, and I think it popped up on recommendations whenever I bought this as normally bolt together. Well, it wouldn't go in at all. I mean, it would go in like maybe a 1/4 of an inch. So I ended up pulling the one out of the gas tank that was previously on the boat, and it seemed to go in a little bit better, but I mean, it's a lot shorter. But man, I don't know if the threads are just dicked up. I couldn't find, I thought I had a 1/4 pipe thread tap, but I do not. So, but I got it in there and it should be good and sealed, good to go. All right, we got her all in place, got rubber under the bottom, running over the straps, and all there is to do is foam it in. All right, we just poured the 4-pound foam, and I poured 24 ounces in here. Ain't even touching it, but it only expands half of what the 2-pound foam does. All right, well, I've been trying to work like crazy and get this all in, and where I can get it all tabbed in and glassed in, all hopefully this afternoon. But I've got my gas in, or my gas tank in, it's all foamed in. I went ahead, fiberglassed the bottom side of my little upper deck board. And so we got everything tied in up here as well. I went ahead and got all my fairing compound around where I glassed. I'll wait on all this because it's already sanded, ready to go. So I'm gonna need to sand all that and just do it kind of in pieces so I don't have to mix up so much at one time, because that stuff, it wears you out mixing it up. But I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit taller than I was anticipating, but I think once you stand up there, it's about perfect. I mean, it's right at the arm's height for me. So I went ahead and put the fill line in and the vent line, and I'm gonna take the fuel line up through here and bring it out over in here. So I've got to go ahead and get my fuel line connected. I could do it later, but it'd just be a lot easier to do it now before I put the seat on. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, get a little piece of wire, make my connections, and get it on through. Well, I went ahead and stuck the back leaning post on, and I had a little bit of issue right back in here. It was, I think that board on top had a bow, and I put some blocks like I'd done before and put plastic under them just to keep everything nice and straight. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll tab in a little around them, and I've got them also glued together. I went ahead and put some thickened epoxy down before I placed it, and I'm just gonna tab around, let it cure. In the front, I can go ahead, I didn't need any up here to hold it down, so we were good. So I'm gonna go ahead and tab in here and lay this front deck as well. Well, I finally got all this glassed in and tabbed in, and I went ahead and I was trying to hurry like crazy before my tabbing set so I could get everything faired and not have to sand it all down trying to do wet on wet. And I would let it tack up a little so, you know, I wouldn't move it around too bad with the spatula or spreader or whatever you want to call it. And it's a mess right now. It's gonna be a lot of sanding, but it's looking good, it's coming along. So I went ahead and I did 4 layers all the way around the outside and 2 layers all the way around the inside of this thing and the leaning post here, because there's gonna be a lot of weight on this, a lot of pressure, and especially when you're running, if you hit a wave or whatever and put a lot of weight in the top of it, I don't want this thing going nowhere. If you haven't caught my other videos, this is the fairing compound I've been using. Half fumed silica and half glass microspheres. And this is what I've been using, the same brand, but that stuff's expensive and I can't find it in a gallon for Cabasil. So I've been trying to find some different silicas on Amazon that are cheap. And this is what I got. But this is something else that popped up the other day and it's way better. This stuff, I don't know what it is, it's really, really light, but this stuff takes forever to mix in. And you just mix your butt off and stuff goes flying everywhere. This mixes in way better, and I think it's about the same price. It's only like $22 a gallon, and it's like no name, no brand, but I will link it in the description because this stuff works pretty good. I'd completely forgotten I had ordered a gallon of this whenever I was ordering something or another, and I honestly like the cheapo one from Amazon that's no name better than I like the Fast Cut. I think this mixes in a lot better. It mixes in quicker. I guess it absorbs. I don't know what it does, but I think it does better than actual Fast Cut. So I've been going through this stuff like candy. This is all I've got left, is just some fumed silica. I've went through 3-gallon containers of Cabasil or fumed silica and an entire container and 2 of these smaller containers of microspheres. All right, well, I got everything faired and it's all just about cured. So I'm gonna go ahead. I had to get me a new sander. My old Harbor Freight one burn up. And so far I've used this thing for about 45 minutes or so. And I'm pretty impressed. It's still a Harbor Freight one, but it's the Harbor Freight brand that's, I guess, just not PO junk. So I got my rub rail off. That was a pain in the butt. I don't know what in the world that they put that stuff on with, but my God, I had to pry and I was trying to be careful. I'm gonna try to reuse it. So I know that stuff's expensive, but we got all that off and she's looking pretty good. So now all there's to do is just keep on sanding. I'm gonna try to get the entire inside of the boat sanded down today. And tomorrow it's supposed to be good and warm. I'm gonna go ahead and start my gel coat. So I've got to sand all the sides, all the tops. I've already got this one done. And that thing, those sanders, the 7-inch sanders, they do really good. But when it's curved like this, it's pretty hard to keep smooth without getting flat spots like this. But I'll go back and touch it up with my little 5-inch and get it all nice and smoothed out. But it's a heck of a job. And it's pretty hot today, and this stuff, I'm glad I got a good full face mask. Oh man, I am absolutely sick and tired of sanding. So I worked on it most of the day yesterday, all night up till about 3 o'clock in the morning, sanding from just the whole time, just trying to get everything finished down, get all the sides and all the side caps sanded down nice and smooth. And if you look too close, you can find some imperfections, that is for sure. But I'm done with it. I am at my wit's end with the sanding. My hands are cramped up, killing me. I've been sanding forever, feels like. So I've even went in, sanded inside the consoles where tabbed everything in and got all that sanded down, ready to go. And I really wanted my goal was there was a real light chance of rain today. And of course, they've changed it and it looks like it's getting ready to rain. So now I'm just gonna, I guess, still gonna do some work on it. I guess I'm gonna work on some hatch covers, and I might go ahead. I do need to trim a little bit here where I had a little excess hangover, and go ahead and put this front lip in for the hatch cover. I may do that, but a little disappointed with the rain, but it is what it is, I guess. Can't win them all, but hopefully, Lord willing, they called me this week and said they're bringing my carport, and it'll be here Wednesday. So next weekend, this thing, I hope to God, will be under some form of shelter with lights, and I can just go to town and hopefully get everything on this thing painted, because I'm hoping next weekend, I want to kind of do this. I want to get the front deck done, but I've still got a lot of work to do, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to get the deck done in time to go to the beach. And unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately maybe, that's only like 5 weeks away, 5-6 weeks away. So that's not a lot of time to get this thing finished painting, go through the motor, get the motor hung and re-rigged in time to go down the road. So we'll see. That's my game plan, is get everything finished out, go ahead and get most of it rigged before I build the front deck, because I can either slap some form of a temporary deck up there, or I can just go without it. But that's going to take me glassing it in and everything. That's pretty much a whole weekend just getting that deck in and getting it glassed and the hatch covers on it and all that. So I can do that later, but right now we need a boat for the beach. And of course, you know, I absolutely did this to myself, because we were looking at beach houses. We normally go with the family every year, and I was saying, you know, I told my wife, you know, we could get a house on the canal and take the boat and blah blah blah. Boy, did I put myself through the ringer on this one. Next thing I know, my wife's telling me that, hey, I got with your mom, and we got a house rented on the canal. So I'm kind of committed now, but it is what it is. Maybe I should have kept my mouth shut, but if I can get this thing done, we'll have a lot of fun, but we just got to get there. Well, it was a bit of a process, but I think it turned out all right. And I'm hoping, you know, we've got it centered enough and centered, you know, where it'll sit good. I think so, from going off of where the previous console was and the previous gas tank. I shifted the gas tank back, but I added a little more weight forward. So hopefully it'll work. We'll just have to splash it and see. But once again, we're at 1,000, and thank you again to everyone. And I appreciate it so much. And thank you for all the comments, all the suggestions, and, you know, I read them all. I try to respond to all of them. I've got a crazy life. So I work all the time, and it's hard to get everybody right then, but I will get back to you if you leave a comment normally. So I appreciate everything, and hope you'll subscribe, hope you'll leave a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.